Hello everybody, this is Reggie Time, and today, to change it up, we're going to do a 4-tabling live session of 25NL on Unibet. I've been playing quite a lot of speed poker lately. The reason for doing that wasn't because I have an excessive love for speed poker, but it's because as a micro-stakes coach, it's important to prove that you are still relevant, current, and beating the games that you hope to coach people to be able to reach. So I did the 50,000 hands. I had a really good win rate at it. If you look back at my last video, it says, I can't remember the title, it's something like Coaching Reggie Time 50k Hands Review. It's got all my results in there. I ran really well, played really well, and got some good results. But regular tables on softer sites is where it's at usually for me. It's my thing. It's what I like to do. It's where I like to play. And whereas Unibet isn't as soft as it used to be, the regular tables are still plenty soft, and I just prefer it. I prefer playing against the same players at a table over a period of time, and getting reads on them, building up some kind of dynamic with them. It just feels better to me. I enjoy it more than speed poker. I intend to go back and play some speed poker again, but probably won't play it intensely for quite a while, until such a point where I think, well, that 50k hands is now out of date. I need to do it again to, demonstrate, prove that I'm still a winning player, beating the games, etc. So yeah, there's not going to be too much talk in this video because I quite often time out for tabling live if I do too much talking. So I'm probably going to be doing most of my chatting and I'm putting chips in pots. If I'm just making any kind of play that can even be considered close to standard, there probably won't be too much conversation about it. It's just when I'm making folds that I think I need to explain, or making bets that I think I need to explain, that's when I'm going to be doing the talking for the most part. It might be a slightly dull video, but hopefully there'll be chat in the relevant spots. Ripping the nuts on table one is a nice way to start a video. It seems like a nice river. Not really sure what his flop float was all about, but we'll take it. Nice start to the video. If you guys do have any questions on something that I don't explain because either I've overlooked it because I think it's trivial, or sometimes I can make a misclick. Other times I just forget to say something or whatever. There's lots of reasons why I don't always cover things as well as you guys might like. If you see anything that you're not sure about why I've done something and I don't explain it, or explain it in a way that you don't understand, or you think I explain it badly, please leave a comment. Or if you disagree with something I've done or said, please do leave a comment too. If you do like the videos, please do hit the thumbs up and leave comments, because they help the videos perform better on YouTube. And also, if you get a lot of thumbs up on a video, it just makes you feel nicer. So if you do enjoy my content and watch it regularly, if you could get used to hitting the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate it. If you don't want to, whatever. I'm not super arsed about it, but it's nice when you see videos. I think my best ever performing video on likes was, I think it was a losing micro-stakes player problems video. That got 50 likes, and yeah, I'm still well pleased about that to this day. But I think it was a good video. I think it deserved a lot of likes. I was toying with the idea of having some backing music to the video, but couldn't get the sound levels right, and YouTube will probably end up fucking muting it anyway. So we haven't gone with it after all. For those of you who see me reloading and you pause to see, oh, what's this guy's bankroll? Because it's something I've done on many videos in the past to see what the pros bankrolls are. So don't blame me for doing it. Please do remember that I am a strong advocate of keeping the bare minimum on sites. I haven't played on Unibet for a few weeks now. I just deposited £250 today just to play a few hours of poker, see what was going on. And I don't intend to keep more than 400 or 500 euros on it, because you don't need to. 4 tabling, 25 an L. We could probably get by with having, say, 10 to 15 buy-ins on the site and the rest of it just in my bank accounts. Those of you who know me regularly, you'll have heard this speech before, so it's nothing new to you. But I rarely keep more than 15 to 20 buy-ins on any site, because I just don't think we need to. I have money on Sky, money Unibet, money 888, money PokerStars, etc. We just don't need to keep a big portion of our net worth on poker sites. You see what's happened with PKR recently. A lot of guys have had the money tied up there. They don't know if they're going to get it back or not. Full tilt shenanigans, ultimate bet. The list is endless. Just don't keep your money on sites unless it's a real ball ache, transferring money on and off, or you're getting vigged a lot when you do the switches. Try and keep the minimum on there, and just make 1 or 2 withdrawals per month when it gets too high or whatever. Or, of course, if you're planning on moving up, then you need more. I'm not planning on playing too much 50L at the moment. Who knows? If we go on a bit of a heater and we can, if we have a good couple of weeks where we win a good few €100, that might inspire me to take a shot. If I spin this roll up to 500, we might say, you know what, let's just have a 3 or 4 buy-in shot at 50. But it's not in my plans. I like just grinding out 25 an L, 30 an L, that type of thing. Take my 20 to 30 buy-ins a month profit that I try and get to, and I'm happy enough with that. Anything over 300-400 euros a month is all gravy for me, given my other income streams. So poker is very much just a hobby. It's a hobby that I'm very keen on. It's a hobby that I take very seriously. But that said, I don't want it to be something where I lose 300, 400, 500 euros in a month and then feel pretty bad about it, which I would do. I used to play 50 now, and that used to happen now and again, or maybe not lose that much in a month, but go on those types of like downswings, the €500 downswings, £500 downswings, £1,000 downswings. Been there, done that. I'm at a stage of my life now where I don't need the stress of it, and I don't need the income that you get from playing those games like I did maybe a few years ago. So now I'm very much just a very enthusiastic hobbyist that's just trying his best to crush the games that he plays, without any real ambitions to move up super high. There's a lot of folding on table 1. We might well leave it and try and get on a different table. Someone's just joined with a very random amount of money though. Very likely it's their case money, so almost certainly going to be I don't like to use the word fish, but I'm not the most politically correct guy in this, so we will just use the word fish. More than likely it's going to be a fish, losing player, recreational player, whatever you want to call him. Queen Jack middle position, table 2. I'm going to open it because the small blind looks like he might not be a regular. It's pretty loose open, I think. Not super loose. I don't always open it. It's not a standard open for me. It's a hand that sometimes I open, sometimes I don't, depending on what's going on at the table at that time. It's a pretty wank flop for ace-king suited in this situation. His raise under the gun is called a 3-bet. It's going to be pretty damn pocket pair heavy. I'm just going to check with the ace-king. Probably check fold it. Interesting that he 3x here and then 2x here, although it is different positions, but it's something I'll be looking out for against this player. So he's playing at 3 tables, lucky box. Is he at the 4th table? Have we got the full house? No, we haven't. So we can assume that he's some kind of regular. He might still be bad, but if he's 3 tabling, we're going to make an assumption that he is a regular of some description. Next part of the job is discover if he's a good regular or a bad regular, given that he just opened from min-raised previous hand with ace-7 offsuit from the hijack, I think. Maybe the cut-off. I'm going to assume he's not good. I'm going to assume he's too loose. I'm going to assume he's like a pretty bad loose regular. Because ace-7 offsuit wouldn't be in too many players' cut-off min-raising ranges. I'm going to guess. Certainly not in any good players' cut-off min-raising range, that's for sure. So my assumption right now is he's possibly bad aggressive. I'm not going to make any huge reads on that. I'm making any huge adjustments to him just yet, but that's my initial read. And we stack him in a very, very standard spot. We don't really learn an awful lot from that. Check back the Jack Queen here. I guess we could bet for some thin value, try and rep some missed draws. To get called by what? I'm not entirely sure. That hand, I guess, but it's one of the few hands he can have. Really not too disappointed with that check back. Don't like checking back winners, I'm not going to lie. Don't like doing it much, but and that was a spot where we could have considered going with thin value, but it's going to be hard to get caught by too much there. Unless he's just in the business of just saying fuck it and paying off with like pocket 9 to something, but pocket 9's really bet twice? Probably not, so whatever. I really do hate the cliche of I'm not betting this river because what worse calls. I think that's an excuse used by a lot of weak type players to not value bet thinly. But I think that's one of the situations there where, yeah, some hands can call, but some better hands, you can have some better hands that's playing that way too. Maybe some weak kings that's just bluff catching now the draw's missed. Yeah, it's one of those spots where we've probably got the best hand, but it really is going to be quite difficult to get caught by worse. Screeners, by the way, are just all based very loosely on lookalikes of the avatars. For those of you who aren't around my age and from Britain, the Ronnie Barker one won't go down too well with you. Or the Go-Go Gadget one, who looks a bit like Inspector Gadget. Baby Adolf is just because of the little moustache. He's like an Adolf Hitler moustache. And then Duff McKagan, think he was the lead guitarist, or one of the lead guitarists of Guns N' Roses. I almost said bass player, but was he the bass player? I think he was the bass player, actually, wasn't he? Was it Izzy Stradlin and Slash were the lead guitarist? Duff McKagan could have been the bass player. Not sure, my music knowledge isn't the best, but yeah, looks a little bit like Duff McKagan anyway, in my opinion. in a weird spot now. I checked the Jack 10 just to like balance my checking range a little bit. Just want to always just check calling with like 9x pocket 8s pocket 7s, that type of thing. You snap checks back. Now we pick up a draw. We're thinking, should we value bet? Should we not value bet? Should we value bet? Or should we still check call? And now we just have a slam dunk value bet, but it's probably just going to fold, I would guess. Wow. I guess we're just going to fold here. Not really sure King Jack plays it that way, but the pot is just so small. Wow. King Jack. It's going to fold. If the pot was much bigger, I don't think I would have folded. But given the pot's been super small, if we're getting bluffed there, we're getting bluffed. Interesting. I'd be interested to read comments on that one. Really would be interested where we're at 16 minutes. If I remember, I will tag that hand in the place where I'm posting it to make sure that people don't watch the whole video see that spot, because yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That might be a call. The thing is, we're going to be chopping so often, aren't we? That's the problem. Chopping. How often are we actually winning? Chopping a lot. Sometimes it's going to just have King Jack and played it weirdly. But does he do that with the chop? I don't know. Fuck knows. Who knows? We'd need to see more hands and see how he plays it. Other hands that he maybe takes different lines or the same lines with. I'm not going to dwell on it, but I'm going to keep my eye on it for sure. So he's being aggressive again here, but this time he's just like clicking it back and what happened. Wow. I fucking wish I called now. That's for sure. I surely wish I had called now. Had that hand happened just before we had the straight and mucked it, I would have fist pump called. Well, you know, what can we do? Get out of the way with our King Jack in this situation. Wow, we were in rough shape. The roughest of rough shape. I normally make a habit of calling Queen Jack or suit versus early position opens or middle position opens, but I do against players who I think have a time, like a time ticking over their head. Chances are this guy's going to go broke at this table at some point before he leaves. He's going to leave with 0 chips most of the time, and I want to be the guy that renders him important. So to do that, we need to play some pots with him. This feels really weak to fold. We've got 2 players to go behind us. Chances are, wow, he's 60 pence cut through. Chances are one of those isn't going to fold as well, and then our hand's just kind of junk. Right, Mr. Snoop. Oh, we didn't make a hand. That's unfortunate. Sorry if you heard any slurping there, it's not particularly good etiquette. But whatever. Don't think I'd ever get into a charm school anyway, so I'm not too fussed. Awful lot of sound effects for you there. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Unibet, it's got a neat function. You can, as you can see, you can play up to 5 different aliases at once. There's a 5th alias that I can use. I've got under my belt, but it can only 4 tablings, and you can change 3 of those aliases every 24 hours, which I think is pretty neat. So even if you are playing against people who are cheating and using tracking software, which is possible on Unibet, despite them saying, we don't have tracking software, etc., etc., etc. There is software out there that works if for the nefarious people. So it protects you against people who are cheating, because they can get a read on you for the session, but they can't get like thousands of hands of data on you, which is really quite important. So it's like semi-anonymous, which is quite nice. Pretty dry board. Go with the small C bit to start with. New raises. Remember, we're not going to fold if he's somehow outflopped us here, or if he's had a bigger hand from jump, then so be it. 9 seems like a pretty good card for us. We just have to call it off here, I guess. We're going to be behind a decent amount. Guess we're going to be behind like to pocket 8s and shit like that. Ace 10 maybe. But we just can't fold, in my opinion. We're behind to 10-8, but we river the straight, which is pretty nice. I'm not going to complain about that. We played the hand fine. When he overbets a turn, it's pretty gross. If he jammed the turn, then we hadn't also turned the open ender, then I think I probably would have folded my hand. But in the fact we had the added equity of the open ender as well, then yeah, we have to go with it. This is really irritating that he's choosing these bet sizes, because I'm pretty sure we'll beat, but we're just getting odds, so I'm going to call. Probably going to fold the river though. Wow, how does he not bet that river? What the fuck have I just witnessed? It's the second time today that someone on this site has checked back a nut flush against me. Oh no, sorry, someone did it on like 888, didn't they? Sorry, second time today someone's checked back a nut flush on me. Well, I'll take it. I'll take people checking back nut flushes. It makes life pretty easy. So this time looks like there's not any guaranteed fish at the table, so we're going to fold the Queen Jack off suit from a position where we opened it earlier. Let's have a little bit of run good, that's for sure. I used to talk to someone years ago on an old poker forum, Eat My Stack it was called, from the UK. I'm not sure if there might be some old EMSers that watch these videos, who knows. And he was convinced that if you didn't play on the site for a while and then you returned to it with a fresh deposit, that they let you run good for a few days before putting the do switch on you. I don't believe that for a second. But whenever I do run good after going back to a site for the first time in a short while, it always makes me smile when I remember his like weird little belief. I guess it's whatever makes you sleep at night, I guess. But if you do have any superstitions, I would strongly advise you to inject some logic into them and get rid of them as quick as possible, because I don't think there's a single useful superstition in all of poker. Not even ones that are like useful by mistake. I can't think of a single one. And we add deep with these aces, so we're going to make sure we size our 3-bet up accordingly and don't make it too small. So that's still under 9, isn't it? Just over 9 big blinds. And we could argue that's still too small given how deep we are. And check here. Don't want to get blown off by any draws he wants to semi-bluff with. Right, that bit having him put us in a tough spot. If he's got like a 10-9 hand, 2 diamonds, who knows what. $100 blinds deep, not a problem. I just c-bet there, and if he raises, we just go with it and get it in. 200 blinds deep. I don't mind exercising a little bit of caution. Because if all the stacks do go in, then my aces are probably going to be in rough shape. If he raises here, it's going to put us in a weird spot. I think I'd probably just call. I like his raise there. Even though it didn't work, I like it. He blocks the nuts. He blocks 10-9 pretty damn well. The problem is, I don't really have 10-9 very often, given he's got 2 10s, and I don't 3-bet 10-9 pre very often. So I kind of understand why he's done it, because he's got good blockers to the nuts. But he's got good blockers to me having the fucking, I've lost my train of thought there, sorry. I've lost my train of thought completely. I'll try and get it back, but usually when I'm playing in like live videos, once my train of thought disappears, it's hard to get it back. Let me check raising here with our open ender and our straight flush draw. Not straight flush draw, so just half open ender and a flush draw. Problem is we're doing it against somebody who we think might be super aggro, but we just have to check raise and get it in here and hope to get there if we do get it in. Given that this guy's 3-bet a few times, we think this guy, we could be wrong, but we think this guy might be somewhat loose aggressive. We're going to call so we can call some squeezes if they come along, and if they don't, then we've got a very strong hand that's pretty well disguised. Goodness me, that's a lot of aggression. What do we get in here? We're getting nearly 3-1 against 2 potential fishes. This is closer than you might think, but we're going to fold. We were in rough shape, but we would have got there, given how we're running. Would have been sweet, just timed out with the ace queen. Wasn't going to stab anyway, so it doesn't really make much difference. Still no reason to bet. Every chance we got the best hand. That's 30 minutes of live play. I'm not sure how long we're going to go on for. The pools are getting smaller. There were 92 players in the pool when we started. Just 60 now. Probably going to keep playing until such a point where I think we're playing against the same sort of 4 or 5 players at all tables. Where we've still got people like this guy around, this whatever it's called, whatever the fuck it is. Well, we've still got these two guys, PT and Snoop, at this table. We'll stick around for sure. Because these are the guys we're going to get paid from at the end of the month. These are the guys that are going to just provide that extra little bit of gravy in life. So if we get them at our tables, we want to at least try and monetize that somewhat. A value bet Jack down the river here. He might just look us up with any pair, given he's got managed to pot control it all the way down. I think we'll squeeze the ace-10 off suit. 3-bet by someone who thinks likely to be passive, so we're going to fold Queen-10 suited. Pretty much most of my range wants to be betting on this low board. Ace-10 wouldn't always be an open from middle position. I think we have to call this 13-35 against this guy, don't we? We've seen him jam it in twice now, pretty light. Ace-10 just figures to be the best hand. We're going to flip. And we win it. Nice to run good. We just can't fold that there. I mean, the guy's like jamming worse more than once. It's a bit of a loose call, but I think it's certainly plus EV. Could be wrong. Feels like it is to me. It's marginal. But this is why we have bankrows. We have bankrows to like gamble with the fishes in the marginal spots and just to have the financial backing and the confidence just to take those shots. And it could be a bit loose. And maybe if it's another day, another session, when things haven't been going so great for me, maybe find a fold there. Who knows? But first instinct was call, given that he's shown down, or shown a propensity to show pretty wide pre-flop for big numbers. Ace-10 rates to be in decent enough shape there against that exact player. Right, we're going to get rid of table 2 in a moment. Playing heads up against someone who I suspect might be loose aggressive isn't top of my to-do list. Leave next big blind at this table. I'll fill that table shortly. Pretty big bet, which makes me expect that there might be a massive bomb coming on the river too. But when we can't fold here just yet, I think we'll be folding way too often there. If we fold ace jack, if we check here and he bets like €5.80 or something like that, I'll probably just find some kind of hero fold, especially on this board texture. I mean, obviously we're hoping he goes check and we somehow win. Doesn't seem likely though against this player type who's going to just keep the pressure up quite a lot. I'm just going to have some flushes I can call here, some 2 pairs, some straights. Don't think we need to call as wide as ace jack, so I'm going to make a pretty disciplined lay down. Although I don't think it's too difficult. I think it won't be the toughest lay down to make all week, but still it's a lay down that I suspect lots of guys wouldn't make. A minute ago we're putting 50 blinds in pre with ace 10, and that were check folding, top pair, good kicker. Context. It's all about context, isn't it? Right, so which player do we need to be on here? We need to be on Inspector Gadget. And we're going to open a new table. We'll open Queen 5 suited against 2 players who we think are quite aggressive. I don't steal as much in the button as many regulars. I think over the 50,000 hands that I played, I think my button open was something like 42%. I can't remember exactly, but it was around the 40% mark anyway, which is very low compared to some. But clearly it didn't stop me having a big win rate, and I don't think it does prevent me having a big win rate, so I'm not too fussed about it. Another big guy screaming at the computer saying, wow, 40% on the button, open it up, you fucking nit, etc. And yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I fully accept 50,000 hands is no sample, but over millions of hands, my button open will never have been much higher than it was over that sample. And I'm a long-term winning player in these games. And I'm proof that you don't have to have like a super wide button, small blind ranges to make a ton of money in these games. It doesn't prevent you from doing it, but I'm saying you don't have to do it. Pocket tens, not enough with it. Can't really 4-bet. Too strong to fold. Let's see a flop. Unfortunately, our ranges kind of face up when we call 3-bets out of position. There's exactly these types of hand. One that are type too strong to fold, too weak to 4-bet. So it does make us quite easy to play against. But we've got a good board here. We're certainly going to see a turn card. Backdoor spades, 3-2 a straight. Might have the best hand still with our 2 tens, etc., etc. Here we're going to look to check and maybe call if he bets like €4. If he gets north of €6, I'm probably just going to fold it. €5. I just think he's had a hand way too often here. Overpairs with a spade. He could have some bluffs, of course, but I'm just willing to be bluffed off 2 tens here. Not worry too much about it. I'm going to be a check raise that turn a bunch with some sets, with some flushes. 2 pairs. No, well, not very often 2 pairs, to be fair. But yeah. It is a nitty fold. It's a tight fold, but I don't hate it. We don't get rich in these games by calling 3-bets out of position and check calling down with second pair to the board too often. It's not a spot where you're going to be making money long term. Now table 4 looks like it might be going a little bit sour. Table 3 is not looking great either. We might be winding the session up soon. We had 40 minutes. It's been a decent session. Not a bad length for a video. I think we're probably going to start winding it up though. I mean, it's getting quite late too. It's after midnight in the UK. I'm not expecting the games to like surge in traffic anytime soon, with especially surge in traffic with like a bunch of bad players coming along. So we give it 5 minutes, and if nothing much changes, then we'll call it a night. My ace 10 is going to be good enough of the time on table 1. And also, I don't think we're going to get hands like pocket 6s to fold either. So, for both of those reasons, just going to check back. 3-bet small call, see a flop. And then also get the leave table next big blind. Playing 3-handed, well, heads up or whatever. not going to open the Jack 9 given PT's stack size. Put the nuts on table 2, sorry. I'm just going to bet for a little bit of value from ace high and some protection. Table 4, he calls, and then the board pairs with the flush card 2. So I'm going to call here and make a decision on the river. Probably going to call this river. Wow. Ace 3. That was not really what I was expecting to see. So let's have a quick look at the table. Are we going to open another table, or are we going to call it a night? What have we got going on here? We've got PT who's, or Pai Tai who's doubled up. We've got 1, 2 players who aren't fully stacked there. We've got this guy who plays the ace 3. A bit strange. Yeah, I think we'll stick around for a little while yet. Let's get another table loaded up. Although the pool is rapidly shrinking. And we're going straight back to the same table, which is far from ideal. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on playing three-handed with the good tables, but we're going to knock the video on the head. That's how it's going to go down from here. Not in love with this call, but we're going to make it. Yeah, the ace queen, good for him. Kind of one of the best hands we can have there with like the 8-9. The king doesn't change too much. 2 aces out there makes it Harry as an ace, etc, etc. Won't be the best call to make all week, but it won't be the worst either, I wouldn't imagine. Bad river. And he checks back 2 pairs. So this is the guy who checked back the nut flush earlier. Checked back 2 pair there. Did value bet his trips. I have no idea what's going on with his river betting strategy. I have literally no clue. But yeah, we'll call it a video there. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been my first live play reg table video for quite a long time. I've certainly enjoyed making it, or you guys have enjoyed watching it. Remember, if you have, please do hit the thumbs up button, and we're back with who knows what video, who knows when. But bye for now, and be lucky.